Ever since AI took the mainstream news by storm around a year ago, it's had us thinking one thing: could it plan a road trip? So I asked ChatGPT to plan a 4-day road trip, including our day-to-day itineraries and even where we eat. We'll do exactly as it says for the 4 days and document the process. And that's what this video is. It's an experiment to see whether AI can plan a better road trip for us than we could for ourselves. I think the outcome of this is probably not going to be that original. So I think for visiting the first time in the area...
If you said, go somewhere in Northumberland, would you have chosen Blanchland? It's somewhere popular.
I'd never heard of it.
See, so I'm going against what you're saying. Exactly.
I suppose
it's not hashing it to the most popular. We're going somewhere that we haven't even got a clue where this is.
True. But that might just be us being idiots.
What do you mean? You've just never been to Blanchland?
We just drive past. We always do.
I've never.
When do we ever really stay local?
I know, but nobody where we live go, I'm going to Blanchland. Have you heard?
How many people do we talk to where we live? We're the most antisocial pair ever.
We're not.
I've spoken to my neighbour once and we've lived there 2 years. We are. Well, what a lovely little place this is. There was a nice play park. We've been to the gift shop, spent money already. We were here 10 minutes. And apparently it was all part of, like, was it a priory? Like an abbey thing?
An abbey.
So all of this was that, and that's why it's called Blanchland. Apparently it's because Blanc, white, and they wore white robes.
Didn't you say monks?
Monks.
Wore white robes?
I don't know, was it monks?
I'm sure she said monks.
Monks. So I think it's time to ask the Oracle for a food recommendation, just in case we get a bit peckish. I'm not saying we'll have to have something nice to eat, but I wouldn't mind it. So it says the Lord Crew Arms, in brackets, quaint pub in Blanchland.
What do you think of your surroundings?
It's the prettiest place I've ever had. It's lush, it's like in a museum or a church.
You can't take back them things.
If you want to try this experiment for yourself, I have a full guide that details every single thing you need to know to plan your very own AI-generated road trip, available at the link in the description. Simply head over to the link below, pop in your email address, and I'll send you the guide completely free. How have we never been to Blanchland before? Is it called Blanchland?
Yeah.
Blanchland. We've started off extremely well, but now we've got a bloody walk. So I asked it, what next, and it's called Harshaw Lynn Walk, which is about 45 minutes away, but I can barely sit down without feeling like I'm going to be sick. I'm that full.
You need a walk then.
So, well, hopefully in 45 minutes I'll be capable of walking, because I'm knackered at the minute. But yes, if you've never been to Blanchland, Blanchland is seemingly where it's at. If, like us, you prefer a good old-fashioned physical guidebook, something you can flick through at your own pace and use to plan your very own dream road trip, then we've got you covered. We have 4 guides available that cover Scotland's most incredible little island, a much better and improved version of the NC500, the very best beaches in the entire UK, and the finest Scottish road trip of them all. All of these guidebooks are available at the link in the description. Is that windy? It's turning into Popeye. Look, it's blew off the caravan off, look. It has actually blown off the caravan clean off.
Not today's
That's
wind.
how we know it has. The wind currently is blowing the caravan apart. And we're out here trying to make content for you. Well, the hike to the waterfall was a very beautiful one, and despite being absolutely stuffed from our lunch, we thoroughly enjoyed it. The walk snakes across the river all the way up to the waterfall, and it's a surprisingly easy walk with a great reward at the end of it. Well, that got very wet very quick. It was actually fine. Pretty much the whole way up actually. I'm absolutely sopping, my camera's soaking. But it was a bloody gorgeous walk. The Oracle has been fantastic today. She's been miles better than us. We dried off and drove to Kielder, parked up and nestled in for the night at Elfkirk Viewpoint, where the wind absolutely battered us all night. We're heading to Jedburgh, which we have driven through a few times. We've stopped and getting diesel there before.
We've always said, oh, we should come back here, and never have.
No. And the Abbey and stuff looks cool, and that is the activity this morning, is to visit the Abbey and stuff. So it's about an hour roughly from where we are, so we'll get there for about 10:30. As we drove to Jedburgh, we were in high spirits. After all, the AI had killed it on our first day, so surely it would live up to the success of the previous day. Unfortunately today, that wasn't the case. We're here in Jedburgh. The Abbey, or I think it's an Abbey, is like there. It's massive. So the plan is to try and see if we can get in. I don't know whether it's like a pay-in thing or what. But we'll have a mooch around, see what's in Jedburgh.
It's shut.
Went to the Abbey, but in all fairness we thought it might be shut because there was loads of builders doing work. But we're going to walk up to the jail in the castle, I think, which just so happens to be right at the top of the bank up there. Hopefully this is open. So that's one thing with ChatGPT, or the Oracle, is the fact that telling us to do stuff that's actually shut. But if we were googling it, presumably it would have told us. This also looks shut. Looks cool, but...
Do you think it was wise putting all of our hope into the Oracle, or do you think we should have really done research on what it was telling us to do?
Defeats the object though. The experiment was, we do as it says, we get the Oracle to plan the entire road trip, everything, and we do as we're told. So all I done really was just replace you with the Oracle. But that is one of the limitations with the AI. Obviously it gets trained every so often, and I can't remember when this one was actually trained, but it doesn't know live things, so you can't technically, in theory, rely on it 100%. But you can't rely on anything 100%, I suppose. Apart from me, I'm reliable.
This isn't normally the places where we choose to come.
No, it's not.
So the Oracle has done well in that sense.
Because we choose to come to places that are open normally. Somewhere we can go for food in Jedburgh. The Caddy Man restaurant and bar.
How nice the Caddy Man looks. But guess what? It's closed.
Looks like it's permanently closed, so I don't know when that happened. But that is, again, showing the limitations, I suppose. So we're going to get into one that we've seen down here when we walk past it. Look busy, which is always a good sign. Jedburgh was a little delight. Lovely. Pretty much fully shut this time of year, but it is February, so it is kind of to be expected. Food was great. We went to the butchers. Briggsy's Quality Butchers. Had loads of awards, so presumably it won them, or just bought them and put them on. I'd probably do that. That's something I'd do. But anyway, we need to consult the Oracle. It tells us we're going to stop for a walk in Cardrona Forest. It is roughly an hour and 20 minutes from here. A little bit of a mish. Having visited Cardrona Forest in the past, we were pleased with the Oracle's choice. The forest contains some gorgeous walking routes that we'd done before, but we were a little bit concerned that the high winds and storms over the past months may have caused a little bit of damage. We were right to be concerned, as we were soon to find out. We found ourselves in a bit of a dead end. I'm pretty surprised. Normally forestry places are very cautious at closing footpaths and stuff when there's fallen trees, and I mean you can see the size of this behind us, and it's like that the whole way around here. So we're gonna have to sort of retrace our steps, go back the way we came, and probably go around either the outside or just walk the actual route that we came back on, because the storms have battered.
You look deadly serious.
Might be the last to see of us. If we carry on this way, we'll end up getting hit by a tree. That tree's massive. We're going to go back. I think that's the best option. Probably shouldn't have come up here, to be honest. Castle, I think, some sort. Like I say, we walked this walk twice in 2 days last time, but all these trees were much thicker and we didn't notice that. Funny how you can come to places a few times, feel like you've explored it properly, and then all of a sudden you see a castle that you didn't notice, and how that happened. But I can only presume it was the trees blocking our view. We had a little walk around the castle and then headed off for the night to find a park up. Good old Park for Night guided us to a beautiful park up less than 10 minutes drive from the forest, and we woke up to this incredible sunrise. Well, good morning. It's the third day of 4. And we've consulted the Oracle, and predictably I was right again. We're going to Peebles, which is literally, it's just there. As we drove to Peebles from our park up, we discussed the relative success of the road trip so far. We'd enjoyed it, and in all fairness, it had planned quite a varied road trip for us. Up to now, the mornings had been spent exploring towns, and then on the afternoons we went for a nice hike. That had happened every day, until this one. This time AI decided to mix things up a little. Peebles done. It's a nice place, Peebles, to be fair. Next we need to figure out where we're going. So I'll consult the Oracle and see where it tells us to go. We haven't really driven anywhere today, so it could actually take us somewhere quite far. Spend the afternoon in Melrose. Now, I don't even know what Melrose is or where it is. It's like a town on here, and it'll come just in time for dinner time. You know what that means. You need to try yourself. Yeah, I got this sourdough knot from the sourdough shop. Look at the size of this.
That's a knot.
I don't even know where to start. Oh, you know what you've done as well? We were in there and we're seeing these, and she went, oh, why don't you get one of them? So I said, I'd get me one of them. She come out with a shitty donut and went, oh, we'll just half both of them. Like, so I'm going to have half of your shitty donut and then you get half of this beast. The drive back to Melrose was gorgeous. The beautiful countryside, nice weather, plenty of sheep and even a cool old train station. It didn't take long for us to arrive in Melrose either. We got stung into paying £7 to walk around the outside of an abbey that was being repaired, and then I lost the skin on the roof of my mouth while I was trying to drink a cappuccino. It's the hottest thing ever. Why do people make things so hot? Jesus Christ. Speaking of Jesus Christ, we're at another church. I don't know what's happened this trip, but I think this will be like the 4th church we've been in. And probably the 3rd abbey we've been in. That one. Found another ornate bridge. Look at this one. It's like a castle bridge. Figure out where we're off next, and it seems we're going to Hexham, which is an hour and a bit back south towards sort of back into Northumberland way, firmly back into England, just as sort of visit Hexham. So I'm going to just take that as similar to what I did with Melrose, where it doesn't necessarily tell us what to do when we're in there, just says explore the town.
Set me free, come on little girl.
As we drove back towards England, we decided we weren't too keen on the Oracle's choices for the day, so we decided to request a small modification to that day's itinerary.
Come on little girl.
We were driving down and we've decided to consult the Oracle because we've done 2 towns already today and we don't really want to do another one right now, so we've asked it for a bit of a walk, and it suggested Waterloo Monument, which is the big like chucky looking thing on the top of the hill up there, which we drove past yesterday I think when we were driving past again. So we've turned around and we're heading back to it now. I don't know how much of a hike it is, so we may end up regretting this. The monument walk was exactly what we needed. The car park is located right next to a gorgeous woodland route that snakes up the hill towards the monument. The weather was pretty windy, but luckily the trees sheltered us all the way up until the monument itself. The walk was surprisingly easy. A little bit boggy in places, but not as strenuous as it might look like it's going to be. The views from the top were absolutely gorgeous, so the walk is well worth the effort.
What did you think of Waterloo Monument?
It was nice. It was a lovely little walk up as well. It was windy at the top, but it's been windy pretty much everywhere. It has made us change our plans slightly because now we've done that in the afternoon rather than Hexham. We're going to push Hexham back to tomorrow morning, but also there's not really anywhere to stay in Hexham, which is a problem. So we're going to actually just stay in Kielder, which is sort of in between here and Hexham. It's not far from Hexham really, it's about 20 minutes or so. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to head down, so it's less than an hour from here to Kielder. As we drove back towards Kielder for the second night in 4 days, the sunset went from very nice to absolutely beautiful. The sky lit up with an incredible orange glow and we were completely in awe. As we arrived in Kielder, I left Danny in me dust as I almost dumped the van and ran to the viewpoint to try and grab some photographs. As always, the photographs could not do this stunning sunset any justice. On our final morning, the good old English weather decided to throw us a very pretty curveball and the snow rolled in. Needless to say, we're like kids when a bit of snow falls, and this made a perfect backdrop for what was going to be a very interesting final day. Is it snowing? Consulting the Oracle, and it says we're going to Sycamore Gap. But the issue with that, if anyone who hadn't heard, is that some little hooligan cut down the tree. So if you're someone that watched Robin Hood, or you just visited Northumberland when you were younger, or at any point in the past, and you've seen the tree, you know which one I mean, it's this one. Well, that tree has been cut down.
A shame, think something new under the sun. You can't take back them things you already done.
We're here, and I didn't expect this quantity of snow to still be around this part. So at the sale, which I think is like a discovery sort of touristy type centre for Northumberland, I think. So we're going to have a little neb around that, get our coats on because it is snowing quite a bit, and then go for a walk. It's about 1.5 miles each way, so it's not major really. Whereas we normally park on the other side, much further back the way we came, and it is a bit of a mish when we do it that way. But yeah, we've been a bit lazy today. And where?
No. Feels like a proper winter's day, doesn't it?
You're powered by Flapjack. She's just dusting Flapjack off like it's gone out of fashion.
I've always dirtied everything that I found. This ain't no difference, so look at you now. And baby, cut yourself loose. Save all the things that I said that night. Playing it cool, but I never got it right. Baby, cut yourself loose.
So that's the view. That little gap between the two hills was where the sycamore was. So this was Sycamore Gap. And now it's just a gap, I suppose. Despite being particularly conflicted at the beginning of this road trip, we did end up thoroughly enjoying it. Data that it has isn't up to date, and obviously it can't generate anything new. It does rely on scraping the internet for data and information that's already out there. That said, this doesn't mean that it's not going to play a part in the future for us, because as a parent we are very indecisive, and ChatGPT and AI will come in handy for sort of taking the decision making out of our hands on them days where we just can't figure out what we want to do. But as I said earlier in the video, if you do want to try this for yourself, there is a free guide available. If you click the link in the description, pop your email address in and we'll send that over. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.